for boring. Where you can feast with the nectar of the gods. You'll always have a seat at Norse Hall.
Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage, where you will find some of the best football content, news, fantasy football, college scouting, anything that you could possibly find. Follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. Swipe up, hit those like buttons, hit those stars, leave comments, and today we are talking about the 2025 best QB pass-catching duos, and we're about to get into some stuff. C-Dub, how you feeling, brother?
Dirty, what's up, man? I'm feeling great. Ready to get into this. It's going to be a fun episode.
Yeah, it's going to be solid, man. There's a lot of different things going on. We are weeks away. I've seen the week one NCAA.
50 days. We're literally 50 days away from kickoff.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Can you believe that? It's here. I mean, training camp, I think Chargers reported, a couple other teams.
Yeah.
We're right there, man. We're about to get in the gritty.
Yeah. I am I'm stoked. How can you not be, right? We're 2 weeks, August is here, and that's when everything happens, you know. Can you, by any chance, can you pull the mic up a little bit? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. Yo. You hear me?
Somewhat. Let me see if I can do a little extra on my end, see what happens. Nothing crazy, but I think it's good. Okay. Just double check.
Test. 1 2 3.
Yeah, you're good. All right. Anyway, but before we get into any of that, we have to give a big shout out to a couple of the followers that we have, which we were called out, sir. We were definitely called out on ranking the Seattle Seahawks dead last in their division this year, and we had a couple people.
Hot take.
Yeah, it is a hot take.
No offense to Seahawks fans. Love
you know
guys.
What? No, take offense to it. This is why we live for it. I'm choosing chaos today. Seattle fans want to feel bitter about ending up last, then get a better team. Straight up. I'm just gonna say it because you can't tell me. This is why we both came in and said, "Yo, fourth place. This is what they're coming in as. They're coming in fourth place in their division." You're gonna tell me that you're gonna be better than the 49ers, who have the weakest schedule in the league. On top of, you still got George Kittle. You just paid your QB. You might not know who your wide receiver is, but you got a healthy running back coming back. That's just one team. You got your DC. Oh yeah, by the way, you got Robert Saleh back. Remember when Robert Saleh used to run that defense? Remember when they
were in the Super Bowl? They were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So we'll just start with that. Don't worry about Devontae Adams going to the Rams. That's nothing.
Don't worry about Arizona, Kyler.
No,
Marvin Harrison Jr. All of them.
Yeah, let's not worry about them. They're apparently they're trash. They're trash.
Okay.
That's what I got.
I think they'll have something to say about that this season, but I
mean,
okay. It depends on what type of situation you want to be in, right? I mean, you got some young, talented players, and I think Seattle will be better than probably what we're projecting. But based on that division, where they're at with the other teams, I can't put them anywhere else other than fourth. It's tough. I mean, look on the bright side. At least they're not the Saints. At least they have a quarterback, right?
Look, you got 3 offensive head coaches in that division, and then you got a defensive head coach. Now, I'm not saying that he can't have great defense over there, but you're taking Sam Darnold out of a spot that had two great quarterback coaches, basically. One is a head coach, one is a quarterback coach, and now you're placing him in the hands of a defensive head coach. So I don't know how else to see this, but you and I got a few DMs, my friend. And
Respect.
yeah, nothing but respect. We're here
Not
for the
in
chaos.
any time.
We're here, we're here for the fire, So shout outs to if you guys want to go look him up. He was bold enough to call us out. Lord Commander on TikTok. By the way, epic name. So shout outs
Great
to
name.
Lord.
I think of Game of Thrones. I think of Lord Commander Jon Snow or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Lord
get those
Commander sent me a conversation, I'll say. And let's just say it just so happens if Seattle finishes the division in first, we will be gifting him some Seattle memorabilia. And if they don't, he has to find us 25 subscribers for each one of our platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty fair trade-off.
Yeah.
I think it'll add some more intrigue to when we watch the NFC West games this year. They're going to mean a little bit more. Us being, Jets and
by the
Saints
way,
fans here.
the run ain't over, C-Dub, because we just got another DM attached to Lord Commander.
Okay.
Looking for another.
He brought the homie?
Dude, if this continues, I'm not saying that we're always right. We could absolutely be wrong about this at any given moment, right? But let me just touch home on this. If we keep doing this to Seattle's fans, we're going to be one of the best channels in all of the platforms.
We'll grow in size for sure.
Go and learn. Because apparently we were told that we're going to learn. So,
by the way, have you ever been to Lumen Stadium? Have you ever been there?
No, I have not.
It is a phenomenal experience. I have to give them their kudos.
Okay.
Shout out to all Seattle fans. I went there for the 2021 Monday night game where Jameis Winston, I think we won 10-3 or something like that. It was like rainy, boring, super defensive game.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. It was so much fun. And Seattle, the fans were just phenomenal. I was in the end zone portion. I forgot what they call it, but they were just all so great. Great people. Really enjoyed my time, and they were very, very friendly. We had some really good banter going through the game.
Yeah.
But they were friendly. They congratulated me after the game. They were really cool.
That's good.
Shout out to Seattle. It's a great stadium.
Yeah, not for nothing. All in fun here. We'll take this is what football's about. So shout out to the Seattle fans for showing their love for their team, sticking up for their team, because I'm a Jets fan. I know how it is. C-Dub, you're a Saints fan. You know how it is. So nothing but love and nothing but respect for coming to us, trying to call us out. But you will be met at the lines, my friend, okay? We will be there.
It'll be a fun little battle. See who comes out on top.
Speaking of coming out on top, you want to get into some top news? Top dog coverage news?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. News, baby. Wow.
You want me to go ahead and get us kicked off on this?
Sure. Why not?
I think this was a pretty busy week leading up to our show here.
Absolutely.
But first and foremost, the Chiefs has signed guard Trey Smith to an extension right at the deadline because he was looking to play on the tag, but they were able to get a deal done. So now he has the second most highest guaranteed in the league, right behind Falcons guard Chris Lindstrom at $46.75 million. And basically it's a deal. The total worth is $94 million with $70 million guaranteed. And he is now the highest paid guard in league history. So he is also averaging $23.5 million per year. So that's just a little bit higher than what their franchise tag would have been and resets the market. Right after, I think the Eagles signed Landon Dixon to a contract extension. Maybe last year, or maybe it was this season, but Trey Smith, they got whooped up in the Super Bowl. Eagles put them dudes to work. So they're like, hey, we got to re-sign our best offensive lineman, draft some guys, rebuild this offensive line, protect Patrick Mahomes. So great move.
Yeah. Excellent move. And not for nothing, this is why the Chiefs remain in the playoffs. This is why the Chiefs remain a great organization, taking care of the trench work guys. So,
Got to protect the franchise.
Yeah. And not for nothing, sometimes taking care of other people on their team is something that an organization needs, a new culture. And speaking of that, the Jets signed wide receiver Garrett Wilson to an extension and a brand new deal. So Wilson's new pact is 4 years in length and carries a value of $130 million with $90 million guaranteed. So 4-year deal, 130, 90 guaranteed. That works out to an average of annual value of $32.5 million. The former first rounder is the first to reach that figure after 3 seasons in the NFL. Given New York's decision to pick up Wilson's 5th-year option this spring, he is now on the books through 2030. So really, this is a 6-year deal. This is big. The Jets have not had a wide receiver like this for a very long time.
Well, I was going to say, as a Jets fan, just real quick, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, man. Like we finally didn't screw something up. You know what I mean? And
yeah, good point.
By trading Jamal Adams, we were able to get this guy. Okay, so that's like we finally got somebody, and he deserves it. If anybody deserves it, it is him. He has been through every different quarterback, and not only that, you want to talk about 2022, 83 receptions, 1,103 yards at 4 touchdowns. 2023, 95 receptions and 1,042 yards and 3 touchdowns, another one less. And then 2024, he finally broke 100 receptions, 1,104 yards and 7 touchdowns. He still has not had double-digit touchdowns. Okay, he actually only has 14 touchdowns through 3 years, but yet still cracks over 1,000 yards every season.
Yeah,
this is well deserved.
Just like, do you feel like he's not getting enough love in fantasy because of the quarterback situation in the last few years? People got frustrated with the Zach Wilson era and everything, and they're like, I'm tired of putting him out there. Yet he produced on like a real life level.
Absolutely. I mean, even me. You bet with your wallet, not with your heart. Would I like him? Yeah, I do like him, but I see other people that are getting volume, and higher targets. Imagine if he had higher targets. How much more he could produce, but the Jets just have not been able to get that wide receiver that that quarterback that they need, and that's the thing. So we're gonna try it again here, but this is the thing. This could be a good segue what we're talking about today. This was a QB and wide receiver duo at one point in Ohio State.
Yep.
Justin Fields is back. Okay, not only is Justin Fields back with Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields is back with his center. Justin Fields is back with his tight end too. So there's a lot going on, a lot of chemistry that's going to be tried in this camp. And one other thing, this was a very, very smart decision by the GM because they're still carrying out the 5th-year option, meaning at signing, he got about 13.9, I think it was, or 13 and change.
In cash? Yeah.
Yep. And he's still getting his 6. So he's getting about $20 million this year, just like everything combined and, pen to paper. And then next year he's getting his 16.8. And then after that, that's when this contract starts. So you're saving money, leaving some room in case something happens, because they still got $30 million in cap space here. So this is a big, big move by the New York Jets. And as a Jets fan, I think every Jets fan should be ecstatic about this, because by the time he gets paid, that number might actually go up with the wide receivers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think Chase reset the market with his deal, him and Higgins. So it'd be really interesting to see how the receiver market shapes out for guys like Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, because, I mean, obviously they're going to want deals similar to that. So it'd be really interesting to see how it shakes out for those type of guys.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. But what do you have on your end, sir? What else? What other news do we got?
So the Chargers expect to place running back Najee Harris on the NFI list. So essentially, he sustained a firework accident during the 4th of July. So he's going to miss the start of training camp. But based on what they've been saying, is that it'll be a short stint on the list, and basically he'll land on the Los Angeles active / NFI list, a training camp only designation. So he won't have to miss any time. He's not going to miss the required 4-month absence if he was actually on the list to start the season. So I guess he had some fireworks go off in one of his eyes or something. Based on it's a surface level injury around the eye, so there's bruising, and then they're looking to get more clarity when he gets in and the doctors see him. So
yeah, that's
he has
that's
all of
not
his fingers, so that's positive. He can
I mean,
still hold
that's
on to the ball.
yeah. It's oh god, that's awesome, but not awesome at the same time. It's like, when are these people going to learn?
So all the Marion Hampton truthers will probably be disappointed because he's going to be in training camp practicing, probably taking the starter reps once he gets his eye figured out.
I like to think that I have an eye for detail.
Maybe.
Okay, moving on. So, hey, can we bring it back to New York for again? I really like talking about my team when they do awesome things.
Yeah,
If we could,
I might as well.
so
Why not? You're on a roll. We'll start calling you Butter.
So one day after extending star wide receiver Garrett Wilson, the Jets signed All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner to a 4-year deal, $120.4 million contract extension. This is coming from Ian Rappaport, and Gardner himself announced on social media that an agreement had been reached. His deal, the same structure as Wilson's extension. Okay, so with a $30.1 million average per year, Gardner is now the highest paid corner in the NFL, beating out $30 million per year signed by fellow 2022 first round Derek Stingley Jr. earlier this year. However, Gardner's $85.653 million in total guarantees do not quite reach Stingley's 89. But this is exactly what we're doing here. It's another 6-year deal through 2030. I think Darren Muji is doing his thing right now, and he's making sure that iron sharpens iron. And look, we're just running through the course here. So this year, he is guaranteed 10.6. I don't know what that signing bonus is, or if there was one.
Do you think he put anything in his contract about not golfing anymore? So he get back to the pro season?
There might be. There might be. Hold on, I just want to check to see if there's any. So 21. Okay, 21.5 signing bonus. So pen to paper. He's getting paid, I think, around that 31 now this year, with the signing bonus, with the 10 of his cap this year. So and then next year he'll be getting 20 million, and then after that, that's when everything starts. That's when the contract actually starts again. So again, Darren Muji, well played. We're just going to keep moving down, see what they got for Breece Hall, see what they got for Jermaine Johnson, and as a Jets fan, extremely ecstatic. And
yeah, got the building blocks re-signed, have the vision, you have the right leader in place with Aaron Glenn. You've got a quarterback that you're hoping to pan out, be the guy that Aaron Glenn believes is the guy. So puts you in a good position for the future.
And you know who I think is next? AVT. That's who I think is next. Barrett Tucker.
Then that's the right guard, correct?
Right guard, left tackle, right tackle. He's played it all.
Whatever the team needs. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll finish up the news segment. So the Broncos signed their first-round pick, Jahdae Barron, cornerback out of Texas, who was one of 2 remaining first-round picks, the other being Shamar Stewart, who we've talked about before, has some stuff in his contract that he wants to hold out. But with Jahdae Barron, he's going to be earning – it's going to be the normal 4-year rookie contract, be more than $18 million with $9.8 million in the signing bonus. So they were able to finally get him signed. He'll be there at training camp. And it kind of opens up, the question marks with Shamar Stewart and the Cincinnati Bengals. But also, it's kind of flown under the radar, and I don't know we've talked about it that much, but there's a long list of second-round picks that are not signed due to they don't want to fully guarantee the contract. But the Texans, I believe, has signed Jaden Higgins to a fully guaranteed contract for their second-round pick. So now all these second-round picks across the league are holding out. So be a really interesting situation to see as we get into camps actually starting and how that's going to shake out.
All right. I like it. That is the news that we have. Let's jump into an email real quick. Can we do that before we get started?
Might as well. Let's do it.
Okay. This one is from Robbie. Shout outs to Robbie.
Robsters.
Robbie says, I appreciate all of your hard work for the podcast, and we just had our Dynasty draft. I was able to pick up Caleb Johnson. He had apparently has 3 first-round picks. Caleb Johnson.
And that's a running back that went to Pittsburgh.
Yep. RJ Harvey. That's pretty damn good.
Running back that went to Denver.
Yep. Judkins.
Running back that went to the Browns.
And before I made my Judkins pick, I traded back up to make sure I had the very next pick and picked up Higgins.
That's Jaden Higgins, the receiver for the Texans that messed up all the second-round picks.
This all comes from the information you guys have provided to me. I appreciate your Dynasty help. Robbie, not a problem, my friend. Great draft. I don't know how you pulled that off. That's 3 solid running backs and 1 solid wide receiver. The only wide receiver who signed their contract in full guarantee, and now the entire nation.
From the second round. From the
second round, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a great haul. I mean, naturally, not all of them are going to pan out, but you taking that many at bats, one of them is guaranteed to pan out, right? Or at least you'd hope so. I mean, RJ Harvey could take on a full workhorse role with the Denver Broncos. Mm-hmm. You do have a bunch of stable running backs, but Sean Payton's in love with them. So he said the same thing about Kamara back in 2017. Took him a few weeks, but then once he hit fire, was a monster in fantasy. Quinshaw Judkins, I mean, he's got some of the legal issues and a kind of a weird situation that went on. So there's more details that need to come out on that. Not too sure what's going to happen there. But then Caleb Johnson, I mean, his only competition is the undrafted Jalen Warren up in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So it gives him another chance to be another potential workhorse for that Pittsburgh offense that's going to be leaning on Aaron Rodgers, who destroys run games, but he might be the guy to get some goal line touches and stuff like that. So great haul.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely wonderful the way that he did it and how he did it, and the way that he traded up before making that pick, brilliant. You want to solidify, you want to make sure you want to know what you're going for, and that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? That's definitely a way to do it. Would you say we get into some little QB cataract?
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's go over the 2025. Who we believe are going to be the 2025 top pass catcher QB duos.
Yeah, this is a lot harder than I initially anticipated when we talked about doing this on the show.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, easy. I could, but man, there's some situations I'm like, man, I want to put this guy here. I'm gonna put this group here. Like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
So
it'll
be fun to see how we differ on this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little different. It definitely is a tough read when you're looking at things because you have new people on different teams. You got different people popping up here doing this, doing that, and it's like.
Yeah, so I base my list off of if I absolutely have to have have to get a play where it's 4th down, the game is on the line, and I want out there. I'm
Yeah.
choosing these two to save my season or to win the game or whatever however you want to put it. That's the mentality that I went with it.
No, you're good. You're good. I will say that this was troubling for me, and
Yeah, I mean, you're a Jets fan. You haven't had a quarterback receiver combo since what? Favre and
no, I look
Edwards?
at these lists. I look at these lists, and I'm sitting there. I was like, Vinny Testaverde does not play anymore. This is
Yeah.
how we do it.
Yeah, I
But
say Breeze has been retired for 5 years, man. What am I doing here?
yeah, you
Let's
want
get
to start off
started.
with honorable mentions?
Yeah, let's get started. Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's your honorable mention?
You ready for this?
Ready as I'm gonna be.
Honorable mention. Tua, Tyreek Hill. They did not make my top 5.
Okay.
And it's because what do I pay attention to the most?
Injury, strength of schedule,
There we go.
all stuff that people don't
It's
care about.
either look, I'm not saying Tyreek Hill wasn't fast and he's not a good route runner. He is. He's elite. He's lost a little bit. That doesn't mean he's not a great player. He is. He's absolutely a great player. But when your quarterback can't stay on, we've seen a significant drop in what does not happen on the field with the Miami Dolphins when Tua is not there. And by the way, Tyreek Hill makes Tua look good. For all the Miami fans that are saying that, oh, he doesn't underthrow him, he absolutely does. Tyreek has to slow his routes down. He has to stop running full force because he can't catch up with his speed. Okay, he can't overthrow him to make him go get the ball. But Tyreek Hill is so gifted that he can make plays after the catch. He's great like that. But they cannot seem to stay healthy.
Yeah, I'll challenge you on that though. With Tua, he's more of a rhythm, timing based passer.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, of course, yeah, he doesn't have the huge cannon where you throw it 7 yards down the field, bomb touchdown. So there's certain times where he has to get in rhythm to hit Tyreek Hill in stride, and there have been moments where he doesn't have that arm strength to get there. But I do think that once he is in rhythm and he gets comfortable, he can definitely set Tyreek Hill up for success. So he doesn't have to have the cannon for that.
Right. I just think more so sometimes that
You just hate him. It's okay.
It's Tyreek Hill setting him up for success, not the other way around. But then again, he doesn't have anything when Tua isn't in. So it's like, hand in hand. And that is why they're an honorable mention.
All right. That's shooting off from the hip. There we go. My honorable mention is probably going to get a lot of kickback or whatever. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. So Hurts is still developing as a passer. He's a great gamer, ice in his veins, Super Bowl MVP, great. AJ Brown, monster. I mean, his first season in Philly was phenomenal. I think he had over 100 catches, much yards. But over the last 2 seasons, I did this for every group. We did that over the last 2 seasons, or the totals for the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
255 targets and 173 catches. Right, but with the game on the line, I don't fully trust Hurts' accuracy to get the ball to AJ Brown. As great and phenomenal of a player as AJ Brown is, I don't trust him all the way. He's a phenomenal player. He's got a great team around him. The Eagles are going to be awesome this year. I think Hurts is a good quarterback. Coming out in the draft, I did like his upside and potential, but for this exercise, they didn't make my top 5. They got to be my honorable mention.
Fair enough. Okay. More than fair, sir. I do not hate you for that. Okay.
Well, it's good. It's positive.
Okay. You want me to start at my number 5?
Yeah, we'll just keep going back and forth.
All right. So my number 5 is Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua. And Stafford came in at number 7 in PFF's quarterback rankings, while Puka placed 5th in the wide receiver rankings. Okay, over the past 2 seasons, Stafford recorded a 92-1 PFF passing grade when targeting Nacua. Okay, so this is epic right here. All right, now that Cup is gone, You can see this getting better. You can see this becoming something even greater. Now you do have Devontae Adams coming in there too, right? They have many different ways that they can do this, but Puka has proven when he was a rookie that he can break records, he can do things, okay? It's not like Stafford is new to this, okay? And if Puka can do this with somebody that has already done this with Calvin Johnson, that has already done this with multiple people, Amon-Ra, this is
Golden
going to
Tate.
they're only going to climb the ladder together. Okay, they're solidified. I got them ranked. Stafford, Puka Nacua, my number 5.
It's gonna be awkward because I have Stafford and Puka number 5. You know, the last 2 seasons, I mean, he had that record-breaking rookie year that has since been broken by Bowers this past year. But I mean, over the last 2 seasons, he had 266 targets, 184 catches. I mean, this guy's been great. I mean, especially with where he went in the draft. He's got some injury issues. He kind of plays like a reckless bull out there, kind of throwing his body around. But in the kind of crunch time, you know Stafford's looking for him, and he comes up with those crazy plays. And I really like that connection. Like you said, they're growing. I mean, they've only been 2 seasons together, so I'd be really excited to see what they can do this third year with Devontae Adams kind of taking some of that pressure off Puka.
I agree. I definitely agree. Moving on to number 4. CJ Stroud, Nico Collins. Okay. So CJ Stroud, love talking about Tank Dell. Okay, that's his boy. Okay. But it doesn't matter how many times he keeps talking about Tank Dell. The ball always went to Nico Collins. Okay.
Well, that's because Tank Dell kept getting hurt, but yeah.
But he kept saying, yo, this is my boy. This is my dude, right? And then even when he needed a first down, there it goes, right? Tank Dell was like, I mean, when he got the ball, wild, right? Just absolutely crazy, making plays, athletic, knows where to be on his route running, and speedy as hell. But when he needed a play, when he needed a first down, when he needed things to happen, it was Nico Collins. When Tank Dell went out, Nico Collins stepped up another notch. Like, yo, I can be that guy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He is solidified as that wide receiver 1 over there, and it's like people can't not see that's his number 1 target. That's where he's going.
Imagine if he didn't miss those 7 games with the hamstring injury last year, how much more Nico Collins would be like talked about right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love it. That's a great call out.
Can I say one other thing too?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. What you got?
Gotcha. So actually, Nico Collins generated a 117.8 passer rating when targeted over the past 2 seasons with Stroud.
Okay. I think that's good, right?
Yeah, that ranks 6th in the NFL, although I'm bumping them up to my 4. So
perfect. Cool. So for my number 4, I have the I guess hometown kids, Dak and CD Lamb.
Okay.
So over the last 2 seasons, CD has 333 targets, 236 catches, right? In the 2023, when Dak was healthy for the 17 games, CD had 181 targets for 135 catches that led the league. So, which is insane. I know we talk about how Dak loves to throw to the tight ends. He loves to throw to CD Lamb more.
He does.
Because CD Lamb is an explosive playmaker, great with the ball in his hands, phenomenal route runner, has the size, it's got the speed. And that connection, like, again, if my game's on the line, I want Dak throwing to CD Lamb, right? But they came in at number 4 just due to some of the kind of injury concerns and whatnot with Dak. So, but I do really like that combination, and I think they can be huge this year. So that's why they're my number 4.
Fair enough. All right. So number 4, I like it. Number 3, let's move into the number 3 position here. I'm going to slide it over to ones that we might already know, but I think that they actually took a step down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I'm still putting them in the top 3. That is his safety blanket. Okay. He actually goes off script to make sure that he does get the ball sometimes because that is his first down guy. That is his, hey, I'll get the ball. I can be here. He knows that little pocket where he's going to be. He's even said in interviews, he sees how I read the field, so he knows where to be when that happens. And just for a quick, okay, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have combined for 1,745 yards and 19 touchdowns in 20 postseason games together. They're also fourth for a quarterback and tight end in catches, which 550 and 6,895 yards. So just the 20 post games together with 19 touchdowns and 1,745, that's postseason. I think he deserved to be in the top 5. I'm going to put him actually down to the top 3, not in the top 2, but still worthy enough to talk about, still a threat, and still a problem.
And you're not putting him in your top 2 just due to the age?
I think it's starting to decline now. I think it's yeah. I mean, there's a possibility that they can bring it right back, but I think that that offense is starting to understand little things that they can do without continuously feeding one person. They have so many different wide receivers. They have so many different running backs now. They have different tight ends like Noah Gray there too. You know what I mean? They're spreading the ball around a little bit more, so they have actually taken a step down from where they've been in the top. And they're still in the top 3, but they used to be like 1 and 2. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really necessarily put age into a factor for it, but that's an interesting take for it. My number 3, I went with Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There you go.
So over the last 2 seasons, St. Brown has 305 targets with 234 catches. So this is Goff's go-to guy on 3rd, 4th down when you need it. He's great out of the slot. I would argue that he's probably your prototypical slot player. Great in terms of his short area quickness. Great in terms of route running. Great hands. I mean, he had 81.6% catch percentage last year on all of his targets. I mean, that's great. You know, I don't think he's over his season since he's a rookie. His lowest catch for each, his lowest was his rookie year with 90 catches. So I think that connection, and a cool thing, you get to see some of that insight on the new Netflix quarterback season 2. Goff was one of the quarterbacks that they kind of followed around and got to know more about, and you can kind of see that connection with him and St. Brown on there. So it's pretty cool to see how they're able to be off the field and connect that way, and it shows up on Sundays.
I hear you on that. Yeah, I mean, solid choice. I mean, look, doesn't matter. Detroit went from Calvin Johnson right over to the Sun God over there. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, they just keep on picking great wide receivers. And even when they weren't winning with Stafford, they were still connecting Calvin Johnson and then Amon-Ra, and now they got Goff over there, and it works over there. And that's a great duo. It always has been. He's very hard to guard, and one flick of the wrist, you have a first down. One flick of the wrist, he could be in the end zone. You know. So, what are we at? Number 2? Number 2. Okay. I'm actually gonna go the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb at my number 2. Lamb and Prescott, we've seen this time and time again. Okay, they make it look so effortless sometimes when he's just targeting. Again, he does like to target the tight end, but who do you like to target more? CeeDee Lamb. You rambled off all the stats before, and not for nothing, it's not going to stop. He's still young enough. He's getting paid. When Dak is healthy, Dak makes sure that he gets him into those little slot spots or on the outside, and he just has a knack to getting him the ball. And with that, they're a very accomplished duo. They rack up 2,500 yards and 19 big-time throws over the past 2 seasons. Prescott's passing grade is at 83.4 when he's targeting Lamb during the time. It's one of the lower grades, but I still think, like, when you're watching it, for some reason, it gets me into the top. It gets me to put them in the top 2. I don't care always about the numbers. It's sometimes what you see, and I think we can see that by, becoming scouts.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, just to reiterate, with this list, I went with the mindset of it's the fourth quarter. I have to have one play, and I need the duo to go out there and execute the play to keep the season alive, right? So my number 2, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
There it is.
His Travis Kelce's going into 35, 36-year-old season. Does he have the athleticism that he did before? Obviously not. But in terms of the way they see the field, like you talked about earlier, they see it the same. He knows exactly where Patrick wants him to be on specific plays, specific formations. I mean, the game against that Chargers probably a couple seasons ago where he won it in overtime just by going out there and finding the open space in there that always sticks out to me. So that combination, it's such a dangerous duo. Don't really care about the advanced age because we see it in the playoffs when he's been rested and they don't play him out for the full year. He goes out there and he's still elite. So that their combination, Mahomes and Kelce, number 2.
Number 2. Dude, just say it. There's no way in hell that this is not going to happen. If you have somebody other than who I have, especially since I know.
I don't think there's any chance that we have different number 1s here.
Yeah, there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be.
I'll say the quarterback if you say the receiver.
You know what? That makes sense. You know why? Because you love this guy.
I do love this guy.
All right. 2, 3.
Joe
Mike
Burrow.
Evans. I'm just kidding. No, I got Jamar Chase.
Way to mess it up.
But you do like Baker. I know you like Baker.
Yeah. But he, he just edged out. He was like my number 7. I was debating between him and Hurts and AJ Brown on my honorable mention. Yeah. But that's beside the point. We're not here to talk about Baker and Mike Evans. We're here to talk about the best quarterback receiver duo in the NFL.
Yeah. With
Mr. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Like I alluded to earlier, if you saw Netflix season 2 of Quarterback, you see the way that these two are together all the time. Their families are friends. They're able to finish each other's sentences. Have had that connection since the LSU days.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
And to carry over that, back when were they drafted again?
Burrow was 2020, Chase was 2021.
Okay, so since 2021, the Bengals drafted Chase. Okay, and a lot of these teams followed suit. The Eagles got Devontae for Jalen Hurts. Waddle was brought to Miami for Tua. Okay, ATN was brought over to Jacksonville for Trevor Lawrence.
T-Law.
So they tried these things with chemistry. Okay, this all happened in the same year too. And they did it for a reason. Why? Because they're trying to get the chemistry, but there is no chemistry like these two from LSU. All right. Just to top that off.
Bayou Bengals, baby.
Since 2021, Burrow has a 96.5 PFF passer rating and 53 big-time throws when targeting Chase. There is no other like these two. You can say whatever you like. You can have your opinion, but the facts don't lie. And when you see them and when you see Burrow tossing down that sideline, there's a really it's more of a 70-30 or an 80-20 chance that Chase comes down with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really actually truly incredible the type of connection these guys have. And I mean, just the amount. Obviously, Chase was the Triple Crown winner. They didn't have the season they wanted, but you had Burrow for 17 games. So it really showed you, as long as they can as long as they're able to protect Burrow and keep him upright, he will get the ball to Chase, and they can have a dynamic offense. And for whatever reason, the team's tripling Chase. You also have Higgins, but that Chase-Burrow connection is absolutely incredible. And I don't know. It'll be a while till we see a connection like that, I feel like, in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with that being said, that we're not far off. Okay, that's my top 5. That's C-Dub's top 5. And
go ahead and recap your top 5.
So honorable mention was Tua and Tyreek Hill. And we had Stafford and Puka as 5. 4 was CJ and Nico as 4. 3 was Pat and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. At number 2, we had Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. And number 1, Burrow and Chase from Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, and then for my honorable mention, I had Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. Number 5, I had Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua. Number 4, I had Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Number 3, I had Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 2, I had Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And then number 1, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Yeah. I mean, and to bring this over to fantasy for some of you guys, when you're drafting, right, and you already have Chase, and say you got a couple spots, like you can get a Josh Downs later on, right? Josh Downs is a very, very sneaky slot player this year. And you need like a quarterback, and Lamar's gone, and Josh Allen's gone, and Jaden Daniels is gone, and all these, these big names. Burrow is a very, very sneaky play with choosing him because Chase is probably going to go 1 or 2. Okay. There's a really, really solid chance with this. So if you get Chase, it might be smart to double down with Joe Burrow. That is one thing that you could be down by 60, and then all of a sudden you're winning by 20. Okay,
Yeah, I'd argue if you get Chase, you should target Burrow. I think that you have to just the big, like you said, the big swing and difference that you could get in terms of double points because their defense isn't going to be great. I think they have somewhat of a favorable schedule, maybe at least for the quarterback. I don't know in terms of for the receiver, but they're going to be airing it out each week because the run game iffy, offensive line, but their defense kind of scary this year in terms of I don't know how much talent they're going to have. They got a couple pass rushers they need to get paid. They invested some draft picks in the defense, but at the same time, that's like gold mine for fantasy. Yeah. Right. You want somebody that's going to be airing it out the entire game, somebody that needs to get passing yards, catches. And with this connection, I mean, that could be a fantasy gold mine this year. It could be a league-winning combo. If they stay healthy.
There's been multiple games where Chase has 2 touchdowns. Okay. Multiply that by 4 with Burrow getting his 6 too. Okay.
36.
Huh? What did you say?
That's 36, right?
Yeah, it's 36. Yeah. I mean, think about that. I mean, that's an easy, that's 14-14. You know what I mean? You're getting, or not 14-14, sorry.
Depends on your settings.
Yeah.
Not passing touchdowns don't always equal the same as receiving touchdowns, but
right. So
make sure you read your league rules.
On top of, that's not including yards. That's just including the end zone. Okay. This could change. This could be a game changer. So don't overthink it. Like C-Dub said, if you have them, work around that. Make sure that you get them. If you have to reach a little bit, you won't be disappointed. There's many sleepers that you could get. There's many undervalued players in these drafts this year that it's going to happen. Go after it. Go get your duos and make it happen.
Absolutely.
C-Dub.
What do I do?
You want to have a little fun?
Yeah, fun's always good.
Okay. You want to stick them with some Perry Pick 'em?
F is for friends that do stuff together. U is for you and me. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, my bad. Kicked it back to the SpongeBob days there.
All right.
I don't know. What is this Perry's Pick 'em? Never heard of it.
Let's get into it. Perry Pick 'em. So we got this little thing called Perry Pick 'em, and apparently I could go against you and you can go against me, and we could hide the points, and each point or each player that you pick has a certain amount of points, and they will pick it'll randomize. So say we'll start it off, it'll randomize which team you pick from, okay, and you'll have a small little timer. Okay, so we'll have a quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers,
like a fantasy roster kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll have about 30 seconds to pick who we'd like from that team, but it doesn't necessarily have to be 2025. It can go a little bit back in time. And
like the Land Before Time?
You could pick a little Drew Brees if you ended up with the Saints here. You could pick a little bit of Reggie Bush if you wanted to.
Brees' action, okay.
Yeah, you could. Now, it's going to pick the best from that from when they were on that team. Okay.
The best what? Are you talking about best fantasy seasons, best fantasy performance?
Their best performance, not fantasy, but best performance that they've had. And it gives
Okay.
you a bunch of points if you pick correctly. Now, remember, some of these players, when they went to other teams, they didn't fare so well. So the name might look good. Doesn't mean they did well on that team. So if you pick somebody that went to a different team and you pick them and you have a low grade, it's because they didn't do good on that team.
Okay.
So you want to try it out?
Yeah. Let's give it a whirl.
All right. Let's share screen. All right.
And just for everybody out there, we'll go at the end of this. Once we have our teams, we're going to put our teams out for a poll so you can decide: are you Team Dirty or Team C Dub? Throw a
Oh
little
yeah, man.
competition out there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, my friend. All right, and we will share. Boom. All right. Now, should we do full screen? Haha.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. That way everybody can see what we're doing here. All right. So you want to start with we'll do 2-player.
Yep. Let's just go against each other.
You want to hide the points?
Yes, hide the points.
Okay.
We'll wait till the end.
All right. How many rounds you want to do? Just one?
We can do best 2 out of 3.
Okay, that's it too. Okay. So we're gonna start here. All right, we're starting, buddy.
Go ahead. Age before beauty.
Cleveland Browns, huh? I'm gonna start with my flex here, bub. And I'm going to go down. Red Knight going down. You know what? Yeah, sorry, buddy. I'm taking him.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go. Let's do Peyton Hillis in the flex.
Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, old school Madden cover guy.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
It's
All
gonna
right,
do.
coming back to you with the Washington Commanders.
All right. I'm gonna go flex again,
Okay.
and I am going to go. Let's go Santana Moss.
Santana Moss. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's go old school.
Okay.
It's between him and Clinton Portis, but
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Santana Moss there.
Let me see. Let's see what they got. Austin, Adrian. No. Tight ends. He was good. Jordan Reed was good, but he kept getting hurt. All right. I'm gonna go Scary Terry.
All right. I was a big Chris Cooley fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Seattle Seahawks. Okay. No, I don't want to take that. We'll do. I can't remember if he did good when he was there or not. I'm going Marshawn Lynch.
All right.
Taking him.
I running back. I'm actually going to go with Sean Alexander.
Sean Allen, good pick. Good pick.
Was he the MVP at one point?
I believe he was. Oh, Denver Broncos.
Okay. Can you show me the tight ends real quick before I
Some solids there.
Let's go Unk. Let's go Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
Let's
There
go
you
with
go. Wide receiver Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall when he was there. Okay.
Demaryius Thomas.
Ooh, that's a tough one. 14. Ooh, wait. You know, I'm taking him. I'm taking Peyton.
Okay.
I'm going after him. Dallas Cowboys. Okay.
Ooh, Witten.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. No, I'm going DeMarco. Actually, no, I'm going Emmett. Let's go Emmett.
All right. This is gonna be shout out to earlier in the show, but I'm gonna go CD Lamb, receiver.
Fair enough. Here you go. Kansas City Chiefs, back to you.
Let's go. Let's go running. No, let's go receiver. Let's see what we got at receiver. Give me Tyreek.
Good choice. You know what? I'm taking it. Going Travis.
Ooh, yeah, good move.
Ooh, Las Vegas, huh?
You got some choices.
We do
Some
Randy
options.
Moss, Trey Tucker, Devontae Adams,
Crabtree. That's what it is.
Crabtree. I'm trying to think the difference between Devontae and Randy over there.
You got 7 seconds.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going old school. Going Randy.
All right. Running back. Let's see. Give me Jacobs.
Josh. New England.
Give me let's go Brady. We'll go
Not a
with,
bad pick.
with the guy.
Am I going? Am I gonna have him again? I'm doing Randy Moss twice.
Wow.
Ah, you won. You got it.
Double Randy.
Double Randy.
All right. Oh, very nice. Let's see.
Not a bad team there. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me grab that real quick while you're
Yep.
before we move on. Okay, you are good.
All right. You want to do? You said best out of 3 here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll restart here. All right. Oh, it's back on my end. Okay. Chicago. You know what? I'm going Brandon Marshall here.
Okay. Show me tight ends real quick. Craig Olson's enticing. Who do we get at receiver? There probably wasn't much.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me go to flex. And I'm gonna go Matt Forte.
Solid pick. Indianapolis Colts.
Can we go to tight end and do Dallas Clark?
We can.
Yes.
All right. Let me go here. We are. Okay. I'm going Reggie Wayne.
All right.
Los Angeles Chargers. Let me see. I'm gonna take. Ooh, let me take a look at it. I'm going Antonio Gates.
All right. Give me LT in the flex. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay. Thought about him. Detroit Lions.
Okay. Give me. Let's do Calvin Johnson in the receiver spot.
All right. Kenny Galladay, Mark Jones, Amon-Ra. Let me see who we got here. Reggie Bush, Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, let me go. I'll go Amon-Ra.
Ooh, okay.
I'll take him. Kansas City. You know what? I want to see what we got here with runners. No. You know, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going Patrick Mahomes.
Give me Jamal Charles at running back.
Okay. Jamal Charles. That's a solid choice, too. Cincinnati Bengals.
Give me Jamar Chase, our number
right.
one combo right there.
There you go, Jamar. I will take running back. Let me see what we got. Joe Mixon, Chase. Okay. I can go AJ Green or T. Higgins or Chad Ocho or Terrell Owens. I'll go AJ Green.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys. Let me go on and take some DeMarco Murray.
Give me Zeke.
All right.
Feed me.
Zeke. Arizona.
All right. Let's see. I'm either going to do Kyler or Carson. You know what? Actually, give me Kurt Warner.
Kurt.
Yeah, let's do Kurt.
All right. Edwin Grant, David Johnson, Emmett Smith, Beanie Wells. You know, I'm gonna Hightower. You know what? I'll go with James Conner because he's still performing. Nope. You won again, my friend. So best out of 3.
Wow.
Yep.
I was not expecting that. I was a little iffy on that one for my picks there.
Dallas Clark was a good pick there, man.
Yeah, I just remember that season that Manning broke the record. He was just targeting Clark like crazy.
Yeah. That's why I had to kind of set up and grab when I saw Antonio Gates. Because that was Phillip Rivers' big guy too, so.
Yeah. No, that was fun. That's cool.
But yeah, shout out to NFL Perry Pick Em. Not too shabby there. That is. Hey, okay, got it. But that's a solid game. I like that. That was a good one.
Some healthy competition. You get to. It makes you think because you got to refresh and think about what some of in the past. I know it's a passing league now, but some of these prior legends had some really big seasons.
They did.
So, like who?
Absolutely, they did.
And then you're not sure which team's coming up, so you're like, do I want to fill that spot here, that spot there? So, a lot of fun, man. Yeah. And we'll throw those teams out there. Let you guys vote on them. Which team would you rather?
Yeah, and then not for nothing. If you're gonna look it up, go do Pick 'em Perry. Go Google that and look it up. It's actually they have a lot of different things, not just for the NFL, but NBA and all that other stuff. So it's actually pretty dope to go against your friends and everything too. So I mean, I would highly recommend it. But that was that's our show for today. Our QBs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. QBs and pass catching for the 2025 season coming up, and a little bit of play here, play there with some roster moves, and that's what we got for you today. C-Dub, it's been real. It's been fun. Baker, always a pleasure. And with that, we're out.
Peace.